Hello and welcome to Eczema Phoenix. My name is Teresa Alabata and today I'm doing a little life update video. So I'm sure by now you've seen my new website, or at least the tutorial navigation tour in my last video. So I'm very excited to have finally finished that website after freaking 3 months of working on it. It was like writing a mini book. I'm also, continuing to learn the art of patience. I have tentatively scheduled the book I'm writing to be self-published by April 8th, if not sooner. But I have it tentatively because with everything going on in the news, it's really affecting my, my emotions, stress levels, which then affects my energy to be productive, which is just real. So I'm not going to be too strict or hard on myself if I have to have another extension, which I hopefully won't. But it is a process and it is personal, and the more time that passes, though, the more I want to incorporate into it too, because I just, dealing with sensitive skin during a pandemic and during hate crimes and during political unrest is it's a lot, and I want my book to be as comprehensive as I can. And it's like, well, since this is happening right now, it's pretty relevant, and even if by some miracle it all goes away by August 8th, I think that this won't be the last time we as a human species deal with a time like this, and I would like my book to be one of hopefully many that can just help future eczema warriors or skin warriors navigate a time like this while having skin like ours. So yeah, I want to take my time with the book. It is my first child. And it's basically a book that has been in conception for ever since I've had eczema, so over 30 years, that I've been pregnant with for at least 2 years, and that I am just slowly giving birth to since last November when I started writing my first draft. And I don't want to skimp on anything. I don't want to sell it short or just not give it the full attention and energy that it deserves. So that is an ongoing process. I think I will be able to film some more videos around this time until the publication, just because I've changed a lot about my schedule and how I go about my day. But I don't think it's going to be a regular thing, and I think I will continue to just do what feels right and follow my intuition and create content when I'm inspired to, not when I'm pressured to. Life's hard enough. Why add more to it? And I have a whiteboard, which is why I'm looking away. I want to make sure I touch upon all the points I wanted to make. I am, also doing more self-care. Just allowing myself to cry when I feel like crying, allowing myself to be angry when I feel angry, trying not to get too deep into dark, intense feelings, because I've been in some pretty dark places in my mind with all of the anti-Asian hate crimes and the news and all of the injustice and all of the obvious lies and all of the obvious ways that are now obvious to me that the news is written to paint certain pictures for a profit, for an agenda. And maybe I will talk in more detail about these kind of things and try to find a way to relate it to eczema for this channel, because it does affect one's health to be an endangered race. And I'm not going to claim to know exactly what Black people are going through, but I think I'm closer to it, and I think I have a better idea of what it's like to be a part of a targeted race. And I do think that it's beyond race. And I do think that greed is a big part of it. But gosh, that's such a whole nother world. That's a whole nother topic that deserves another video, if or whenever I get to it. But I'm just going to say that I stand with BLM. I will always stand for truth, justice, and equality. I will always stand for progress and building a world that is egalitarian, that is built on a meritocracy and not on just how you look, because that just never stands the test of time. It's not true. It's not a stable thing to make judgments on one's skin color. It is never enough to define an entire group of people, much less an individual. So, just want to let people know that I have solidarity with the Black community, Latino, Mexican, I guess Hispanic, could be all of them, and of course my own Asian brothers and sisters. We will prevail. One way or another, we have to prevail because our lives literally depend on it. And touching upon that, I have to say, I don't, even though there have been Black hate crimes, they started with white hate crimes. It started with Trump. It started with his minions who can't think for themselves. And now that I've said that, I know that I'm going to have to turn off the comments on this videos, because white supremacists are the most fragile, sensitive babies on the planet, and they will report and whine and complain about any little thing that points out their hypocrisy. So there it is. I said I don't give a fuck. This is my channel. I'm going to say what I want. But I'm going to say that I don't think it's really like Black people hating Asians when there's these hate crimes, because Black people are still being targeted and murdered, particularly by the cops. And it's like, even though the whole Derek Chauvin trial case is going on, and we're starting to make headway and like calling out corrupt police officers, Black people are still dying unfairly, still being targeted. And I'm almost wondering, like, if the Asian hate crimes just were started to create confusion and to like take support away from BLM, where BLM, really gained momentum in 2020. So I just don't, I think that people who commit hate crimes, they are not for community, they are not for movements, they are not for progress, they are for their bank accounts. And somebody's got to be getting paid. Somebody's got to be getting some kind of incentive for committing literal crime, without a second thought. Like, these are surprise attacks. These are things that happen really quickly. These are not people who like literally have beef with these people because they don't even know them, right? And these are surprise attacks. These are punk ass attacks on my people to ensure that it's easy. And the thing that sucks is that it seems like there are younger people who are also attacking Asians because they think it's some kind of TikTok trend. Like, I've actually heard that from some people in the Black community, that some of these hate crimes are just being committed by impressionable youth who think that anything that gets a lot of attention is a trend. Even bullying, even physical abuse, attacks, racial slurs, and literal murder. Like, it's just not human. I don't even know if these people are really human or just robots. Robots repeating trends, robots just copying whatever's around them, not thinking for themselves, not using their brains, not using their hearts, just for attention, just for money. And like, I'm happy Biden is the president because I want him to change the paradigm in this country and inspire the world to change the paradigm around wealth and what we really place value on, because money for its own sake and attention for the sake of money, whether it's now or down the line, it is not worthy. It is not worthy of being valued. It's not worthy of being copied or continued. And anyone who's just a mindless robot repeating trends without thinking about the consequences, like who are almost so too much in the moment that they think the only present moment literally matters, and they don't think that in the future karma will catch up to them. I just don't think those people are worthy of what's coming in the next evolution of human, in the next chapter of human evolution, which is equality. I mean, it has to be. It has to be for our survival. Otherwise, we're just like animals and living through what quite literally feels like the purge. Because Asians aren't the only one dying. Like I said, black people are still dying. Mexican street vendors are dying. They're being attacked. I noticed that a lot of these attacks on the older immigrant community are business owners who mostly deal in cash, so it's fast money. So I don't, again, that's another reason why I don't think it's personal. It's just like, I think for many it's just fast money. It's just easy, and in a desperate time like this that Trump left us in, this fucking shithole of a dumpster fire Trump put us in, people are desperate, really desperate. And that's why I think, and I hope, that there will be universal basic income and healthcare. Because if we're all taken care of, we don't need to rob to live a good life, to have our needs met. That would be the greatest transformation and healing that this planet and people in this time could have, and we need it. I feel like I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. But yeah, that's where I'm at. In terms of my skin, I'm really lucky. Amazingly, it has not affected my skin that much. The thing that has affected my skin the most is just sometimes the things like just eating a lot of chocolate when I feel stressed out, and I eat even if I eat sugar-free chocolate, but it's actually not been that bad. And if you're looking for a sweet treat with less consequences, aka sugar-free, I really recommend Chalk Zero. Not sponsored. Though it should be, because I'm a regular customer, and Chalk Zero is where I go to for like my chocolate fix and my snack fix. They even have peanut butter cups. Pretty tasty. And I've also been continuing to take the whole food capsules to improve my health, my immunity, and my energy levels. I'm still sleeping really well, amazingly. And I'll leave a link to my food and supplement page on my Eczema website, because I list the things that I am taking right now that are keeping me afloat. And all the information on them is on my website, because I don't like to repeat myself. So please don't ask me questions. I've answered all of them on my website, quite literally. And I spend a lot of time on my website for you and for other warriors. So yeah, I would say skin wise it's been pretty stable, but I will also say that I was in a really dark place in February and March, but really March was really tough. And I did notice that my face would get a little bit more itchy, even though I wasn't eating anything that would have triggered itchiness, which is usually carbs and grains and a lot of fried food and things like that. But thankfully I've gotten over that. Like I've come to a place where I wouldn't say I'm over all of this bullshit and all these hate crime bullshit situations. But I'm in a better headspace, and I'm in a place where now I'm back here talking on the channel, and in a place where I feel at least strong enough to film things and share them. The thing I wanted to mention back there, like I said, Asians aren't the only one dying. I really do think the news is being targeted towards us and black people and just people of color. But I've also noticed that white race is not mentioned at all. Whether as a criminal or victim, white people are dying. White people are dying, and I don't even know if they really realize how many of them are dying for real. Because every time a white person's a criminal or a victim, they are labeled by location. You know, San Francisco man sexually assaults Asian woman. That was an actual headline. So wait, we know where the man's from, but not the Asian woman, and we know the Asian woman's race, but not the San Francisco man's race, which is white. You know, that headline, he was white as fuck. Whitest of the white. Nothing against white people, but I have something against white sexual assaulters, racists, and murderers. I do. Anyone would. Anyone with a working brain and a working heart would. And in Boulder, Colorado, literally 10 people died who were all white, but white, you didn't see the headline saying 10 white people died in supermarket mass shooting. They were all white and nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's like, does no one care about white people? Do white people even care about white people? Could white people even handle that kind of exposure and spotlight on their race? Because they're very quick to point out black crimes against Asian people and say there's like 80% of hate crimes against Asians are against black people. And like maybe 80% of the news headlines written expose black attackers, but they never expose the white ones. And oh god, the whole fucking situation that gives me a headache. And I know there will be white allies who get what I'm saying, and you know that your race is not perfect. No race is perfect, which is the whole entire point of like, why ever bring up race when it comes to crimes or saying bad things about people when it's all a matter of individual choice, values, and actions. Either never mention race ever in the news or mention it all the time, including the white crimes, because white crimes matter. All crimes matter. White crimes matter. All crimes matter. If someone's killing and if someone is dying, it matters. So why are we not seeing the white ones? Are the criminals being protected? Are the victims being hidden? Do the rich white people not want the poor white people to see how many white people are dying and to connect our humanity together as people suffering and being targeted in this country so that we don't have to address the real issue, which is greed and why the rich 1% hoard 99% of the resources and money while the rest of us poor and working class people are struggling to get groceries and get proper healthcare treatments and not able to work? I mean, I gotta talk about this because I'm a real bitch and this is really happening to me and my people. People like me, people who look like me are being targeted, killed, murdered, raped, trafficked. And this will affect eczema. This will affect stress levels. And another thing, last thing I'll mention, because I can see how dark the lighting is getting right now, is that, you know, I've also noticed a pattern of black men developing more oozing rashes during this time. There was a black male music producer I was going to work with last year. Unfortunately fell through, just didn't work out. And he basically kind of went MIA. I'm like, what's up? And then he was telling me about everything's falling apart. 2020 BLM was just on the rise. Everything's falling apart and my skin is like just opening up on its own. It's creating these oozing, weeping rashes. It's hard for me to work on anything. Yeah, I really felt for him, but I was also like, it just does not sound like it's the right time for us to work together. Then you're clearly dealing with a lot. Let's just take a rain check. And then this year I noticed, I forget the name and I really wish I saved the article, but I saw a news article about a black man who was in prison who got COVID and was also developing random oozing weeping rashes that seemed like uncontrollable. And that happened just I think it was on February, just as the trend of, black people are attacking Asians started to come up. Literally, like, I saw that story right after that trend started to pick up, that supposedly all black people, like, are hating Asians, whatever. And, you know, from his perspective, I can only guess that perhaps he was feeling extremely stressed out and upset and like heartbroken that we were making some backward steps. Yeah. You know, and the skin is meant to protect us. It's meant to hold us. It's meant to hold our shit together. And when things are falling apart, you know, I can only guess that maybe sometimes the skin, you know, opens up and starts creating like oozing, weeping rashes because sometimes it feels like it's falling apart, you know, feels like you feel like your world is falling apart internally and then it shows up externally. Like, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a psychic. I can't prove any of this, but it's an interesting pattern. And for sure, stress affects the skin because it's all connected to the nervous system, and I'm sure there's more to that. I wish I was friends with scientists so that they can help me research these topics. I wish I could clone myself so that one part of me could research eczema all day long every day and the other part of me can pursue music, which is my first love. But this video is getting dark enough. It's probably time to end it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.